All right, so two things I want to do in this video. One, I want to be able to filter our items. So if we have a bunch of meals here and you want to filter through them using this input or workouts, I want to be able to do that. I also want to be able to reset the day. So basically, we want to set everything back to default. We want to get rid of all meals and workouts. So let's start off with the filter. So we're going to add an event listener to our app class right here. Let's go to the bottom of the constructor and let's say document dot get element by ID, and the ID we want is filter meals. So we're going to have filter meals and filter workouts, and they're both going to call the same method, filter items. So let's add an event listener onto that. And we want to listen for, I'm going to say a key up event because I want it to filter as we're typing. And then we'll call this dot underscore filter items, and let's do bind this. And then again, we're going to pass in the type because we're using the same method for both meals and workouts. So this is going to be meals. Okay, and we might as well add the one for workouts as well. So I'll just copy this and we'll just change this to filter dash workouts, and then pass in, actually this should be singular, so it should just be meal, and then this one will be workout. All right, so let's create our filter items. I'm going to go down to the bottom. Let's go under remove item, and let's say underscore filter items, and that's going to take in the type and also the event object. All right, so first thing I want to do is get the text from the input. So let's say const text, and we can get that with e.target.value. Now I'm actually going to make it lowercase just so it matches, whether the item itself or what they type in is uppercase or lowercase. I don't want that to matter. So let's make it lowercase. So 2 lowercase. And then just to kind of test this out, let's console log the text. All right, so I'm going to open up the console and let's just type in here, hello, so that works. Hello, that works as well. Okay, so now that we have the text, we're going to loop through the items. So let's say document, and I'm going to use query selector all. And in here, we're going to pass in, we're going to use backticks and pass in a template string because we want to get the ID of both workout items and meal items. So I'm going to say ID, and then we can put the type in here, which will be either meal or workout, and then dash items. And then we want the card, so the class of card. So we're targeting the card item. And then we're going to loop through that. So we'll use for each. And we'll say for each item. Now, I want to get the name. And what I mean is the name of in the cards. So if we look up here where we actually add or display a workout. So basically we have a card, a div with the class of card, and then a class with the card body, and then this div, and then in the H4 we have the workout name. So the item in the for each is the actual card. So we want to get the child of the child and then the text content, which would be the name, because that's what we want to filter by. So what we can do is say const name equals the item dot first element child. Okay, not first child, because remember that pertains to all nodes, whether it's an element or a comment or text. We want just to deal with elements. And then we're going to call it again. And then from there, we should be able to get the text content, which will be the name. All right, then we want to do a check. So we want to have an if statement here, and let's turn the name to lowercase. We'll say to lowercase because we made this text, the search text, we made that lowercase. So we'll say if name lowercase, and then I'm going to use index of, and we want the index of text, and we're going to check to see if that is not equal to -1. Because remember, index of, if it doesn't match, then the result is going to be -1. So we want to check to see if it's a match, so not equal to -1. If it is a match, then we want to display it. We want it to show. So let's say item.style.display and set that to block. Okay. Else, if it's not a match, then we want to set item.style.display to none, because we don't want it to show because we're filtering it out. All right, so let's save that, and let's add a couple things here. And let's add a couple things that are similar. So I'll say like eggs, say 100, and let's do like eggnog. Okay, so now I'm going to try to filter. So I'm going to type in E, and you can see right away that lunch goes away as soon as I type in E. It doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase because we made them both lowercase in our code. So if I say EGG and then I do S, then eggnog goes away. If I do EGGN, then eggs goes away. So that seems to be working fine. Now for the workout, we should be able to do the same thing. Let's say push-ups, and let's say pull-ups. Okay, so now if I try to filter that, if I put like R, it all goes away. If I do P, U, and then S, then pull-ups goes away. If I do PUL, then push-ups goes away. So that's working as well. So now what we want to do is be able to reset everything, right? So we want to be able to click this button. All this goes back to 0, and then all this goes away as well. So let's create an event listener on or in the app constructor. So we'll just copy one of these. All right, so this is going to be on the ID of reset, which is that button. And we want to say on a click, then we're going to call this dot underscore reset. And then we're going to bind this. Okay, we don't have to pass that in. So for reset, let's come down here right after filter items. And let's say underscore reset. And then the tracker is what's going to reset like all the total calories and all that stuff. So let's say this dot underscore tracker, and we'll call this, let's say, we'll just call that reset as well. So we're going to do that. Then we want to clear up basically any meal items and workout items, basically anything that has to do with just the DOM. The tracker has to do with the calories, with the two arrays, the meals and workouts. But for the DOM, we can do that stuff here. So let's say get element by D, and let's get the meal items. Okay, so the meal items, we're going to set the inner HTML to nothing. And then we'll do the same for the workout items. So workout items. And then I just want to make sure that the filter fields are clear as well. So let's say get element by D, and I'm going to do filter. So filter dash meals, and that's an input, so we want to use value here. And then we'll do the same for filter workouts. All right, then we want to create our reset in the tracker. So let's go up to the tracker, and this is a public method, so it's going to go up top. So we'll go right under remove workout, and let's say reset, no underscore because it's a public method. And first off, let's set the total calories. set that back to 0. Then we're going to take the meals array and set that, we're going to empty it. So just set it to an empty array. Same thing with the workouts. Okay, so the meals and workouts set to an empty array. Then we just want to render, so this dot underscore render. All right, and that should do it. So let's come over here, just add a couple things. Add a workout. Okay, so now when I click reset, what should happen is these will delete. Even if I have something in the filter like that, that should go away. These should delete. These should get set to 0. The progress bar should reset. So let's click, and there we go. So now everything is reset.